calls on Health Secretary to resign. The IDA calls for a thorough investigation into the $17 million ambulance scandal. Tobago says Education Division not doing its part to regularize Tobago teachers. And Passat Bissessa wins Caribbean Global Leader 2025. Good evening, I am Lavian Cupid. Welcome to the Tobago Updates Television News for Tuesday, 3rd June 2025. We do apologize for the late start. Now to our top story. THA Minority Leader Kelvin Morris is calling for the resignation of the Secretary of Health, Wellness and Social Protection, Dr. Faith Brebner, citing what he describes as grave corruption within the Tobago Regional Health Authority. At a press conference earlier today, Morris described the TRHA as being plagued by major irregularities. He called for immediate clarity and accountability from the authority over its operations and recent controversies. ALIA Balgobin has the details.
Minority Leader Kelvin Morris is alleging widespread corruption within the Tobago House of Assembly, specifically the TRHA, which is at the center of a growing scandal. Morris pointed out specifically to the procurement and deployment of the new forced traveler ambulances in Tobago, suggesting irregularities with the process. He is calling for greater transparency and accountability.
Ambulance Gate, a brazen, unapologetic scandal that now stands as the greatest procurement betrayal in the history of the Tobago House of Assembly. You will recall in 2023, July to be specific, the Tobago Regional Health Authority awarded a contract for ambulances under tender number PMT 01-2022.
He called out the TRHA for spending nearly the same amount of money leasing 4 ambulances as it would have cost to purchase them outright at the time the contracts were awarded.
By now, we should have or to have 12 functional brand new ambulances in the system in Tobago. So we thought. But what actually happened? What actually happened? During the budget debate of 2024, the Chief Secretary stated that they would procure and commission 10 ambulances for use by the Tobago Emergency Medical Services Department at an estimated cost of $12 million.
He is calling for the resignation of Health Secretary as head of the THA under whose purview the TRHA falls.
I am calling for the immediate resignation of the Secretary of Health on this matter. This is not deception. This is nothing short of procurement fraud.
To date, Chief Secretary Farley Augustine, Health Secretary Dr. Faith Brebner, TRHA CEO Delmon Baker, and other members of the TRHA board have remained silent on the issues, despite growing national attention and public concern. ALIA Balgobin, Tobago Updates Television News.
The IDA is calling for an Integrity Commission investigation into the THA Executive Council, the Secretary of Health, and the Tobago Regional Health Authority. This comes amid a $17 million ambulance scandal plaguing the administration at this time. The party's political leader, Dr. Denise Soyafat Angus, said Tobago's health sector has deteriorated from being under stress to collapsing under poor governance, with the public bearing the brunt. She emphasized that the issue goes beyond ambulances.
Millions of dollars spent not on medication, not on oxygen, not on life-saving equipment, but on vehicles that stall through mid-transfer, while pharmacies run dry and hospital waste contracts burn through our budgets.
Dr. Soyafat Angus questioned whether the $17 million ambulance procurement was approved by the Executive Council as legally required.
And questions must arise, and we must be very calm in asking them. Did the Secretary of Health take this $17 million ambulance procurement to the Executive Council as required by law? Because that is the crux of the matter right now. And according to her response during the legislative debate, she said no.
She said the issue is not merely a political one, but a matter of legal procedure and public safety, and is therefore calling for a fraud probe into any breaches of the Procurement Act and a full audit of TRHA contracts from 2021 to present.
This matter is not about a political opinion. This is about a legal process, and this is about our lives. Because at the end of the day, what we got does not fit the terrain of the Tobago environment. And let me tell you, this ambulance issue and the terrain of Tobago is not an issue that is new to the people in EMS. Okay? We have had this numerous problem across the years, and then got to a point where we knew what type of ambulances suited the Tobago terrain, and that is why they were very specific in the type of ambulances that they were ordering for Tobago.
The THA Executive Council is expected to meet tomorrow, and only time will tell if they'll issue any statement on this matter that has turned into a major scandal. Contract teachers in Tobago are calling on the Division of Education in Tobago and the Ministry of Education in Trinidad to regularize their employment status, citing years of uncertainty and unfulfilled promises. According to Braden Roberts, the Tobago officer of the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association tutor, most of these educators have been serving on fixed-term contracts for over a decade, holding on to hope that one day they'll be made permanent. AMPLIA has the details.
Tutor Tobago representatives are speaking out. They want their contract status changed from contract to permanent, a move its Tobago representative Braden Roberts says must be initiated by the Division of Education. He is urging the division to take immediate steps to regularize their status, arguing that Tobago educators are being placed at a disadvantage when compared to their Trinidad counterparts.
Stakeholders in education, we are faced with a unique and disadvantageous position in Tobago with the prevalence of contract teachers employed in our secondary schools, due to the THA not doing the needful so that Cabinet could regularize our establishment of our schools.
Roberts said that the continued hiring of new teachers without regularizing those already in the system remains a deeply painful issue, especially when some of the current THA secretaries who once faced the same struggles now choose to remain silent or inactive on the matter.
What is disheartening is that we have, as our Chief Secretary, a former contract teacher, our Secretary of Education, a former contract teacher, and you are not hearing from them that seriousness in dealing with this particular matter. We would have been very hopeful and optimistic when we have those persons at the helm. However, we are not seeing that political will to really put the pedal to the wheel and get this over the line where
Tutor Tobago states that many experienced teachers are often denied promotions and are frequently called upon to assist new teachers. Tutor also stated that many teachers are owed gratuity payments and arrears for many years. Alia Balgobin, Tobago Updates Television News.
We'll take a break and come back with more. Stay tuned.
Do you think you know Premier League or Champions League football? What about international cricket or the IPL and CPL? How about NBA basketball? Well, now you can put your skills to work to earn some extra cash by betting on the games with TT Bet Arena. Simply go to our website, choose a sport you want to bet on, find the games and place your bets. And with your computer or mobile device, you can bet from anywhere. Just go to ttbetarena.com, sign up for a free account, make a deposit, and start betting. It's that simple. You can even qualify for our $2,000 sign-up bonus. We also have horse racing, plus live casino games where you can bet using TT dollars. And check our new Tobago location at 7B Milford Road, Crown Point. For more info, call or WhatsApp 494-0634. TT Bet Arena, the #1 sports betting company in Trinidad and Tobago.
TNTech is pleased to advise that its Roxborough Service Center has reopened. Starting Monday, 10th March, customers can once more visit the Roxborough Administrative Building to pay TNTech bills, request new connections, and more. TNTech, powering the nation into the next generation.
Tobago, this is your chance to lock in the brunch experience of the summer. Sun up.
Real bad girl get nasty.
The brunch inclusive edition, the ultimate party in the East, where vibrant flavors, refreshing cocktails, and electrifying vibes collide. It's happening on Saturday, July 5th from 3 p.m. at Deltec Compound, Argyle. Bring your coolers, bring your crew, and brunch, sip, and vibe in style. This is the flavorful escape you've been waiting for. Grab your tickets now at Barcode, Pablo Supermarket, Lost Restaurant and Lounge, Deltec Compound, and committee members. Sun up! It's more than a brunch, it's an experience.
Welcome back. Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has been named the 2025 Caribbean Global Leader in the People's Choice category, the only award at the Caribbean Global Awards decided entirely by public vote. Persad-Bissessar topped a field of 58 regional leaders receiving 3,850 votes, edging out Barbados' Mia Motley, Jamaica's Andrew Holness, and others. The vote was certified by an independent regional panel. The win follows a successful campaign led by her United National Congress in the final days of voting. She now heads to London in September to accept the award at the CGA ceremony. This marks another milestone for Persad-Bissessar, who returned to office in April after a decisive election victory, her second term as Prime Minister. Exports from Trinidad and Tobago to the United States are now subject to a new 10% import tariff, part of a sweeping set of trade measures announced by U.S. President Donald Trump. Under a new executive order, 180 countries, including CARICOM members, will be affected. While most Caribbean nations receive the standard 10% rate, Guyana faces the steepest tariff in the region at 38%, placing it among the highest globally. The tariffs introduced under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act are being framed as a response to ongoing trade imbalances. However, the CARICOM chair, Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley, has called the move deeply concerning.
We could lower our tariffs to zero in CARICOM, and it will not make a lick of difference because our economies are small and vulnerable. This crisis, my friends, will impact not only goods, but it may also have a large spillover effect on tourism. We suggest that the region take steps to sustain the tourism industry, as likely worsening conditions in many of our source markets will have negative impacts on people's ability to travel.
With the U.S. accounting for nearly 40% of CARICOM's exports, particularly in energy and agriculture, leaders across the region are warning of potential economic fallout, including rising costs and inflation. A heartbreaking wave of ghost boats carrying decomposing bodies continue to surface across the Caribbean, shining a grim spotlight on a perilous transatlantic migration route once thought unmanageable. Reporter Joel Green George has the details.
Latest discovery, authorities in St. Vincent and the Grenadines confirmed that a 45-foot vessel carrying 11 badly decomposed bodies drifted ashore near Little Bay, Canoan Island on May 26th. Passports found on board indicate a connection to Mali, a West African country plagued by political unrest and food insecurity. This marks just one of several hauntingly similar incidents in Caribbean waters this year. Just 5 months ago, a vessel discovered off the coast of Nevis contained 19 bodies, many believed to be of West African origin. In Grenada, a drifting boat with documents tied to the Ivory Coast sparked a new probe, though no bodies were found. Yet another ghost boat with 7 decomposed bodies, among them with 2 children, was found in 2021. Regional authorities work with international partners to trace the origins of these deadly migrant routes. Investigators believe that many boats set off from West Africa towards the Canary Islands, but due to poor navigation and strong Atlantic currents, they often end up drifting to the Caribbean. With millions in Mali in need of aid, risky journeys continue to surge. Alassane Sow, a 30-year-old Malian who is the only confirmed victim from the 2021 Tobago ghost boat carrying 43 migrants, his body was identified by DNA and buried in Trinidad 2 years later. His grieving family in Mali, unable to visit his grave, have distanced themselves from ongoing ghost boat reports. As ghost boat cases rise, Caribbean leaders are calling for stronger international cooperation and humanitarian action. Advocates urge better maritime surveillance, quicker identification of victims, as each boat underscores the region's growing role in a transatlantic humanitarian crisis. Joel Green George for Tobago Updates Television News.
You're watching the Tobago Updates Television News. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Tobago Updates. More news after this.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies, where innovation meets excellence and service reign supreme.
Well, I want a proper window for me house, yeah? I want no shake thing in my place.
Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces.
We get one wall on the side and we get one hole. You can put a window there, invent something, a window for put there.
At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style.
Well, me meet here. Me don't know who I'm talking to, but I the cousin Tufina tell me for call all you go get proper thing for put there. Me don't know.
Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business.
Driven? No, I ain't driving. I get a bus ticket. One of me picnic them go drop me down there. Must bring me down there. Russo Trey Springer down by the place down there.
Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products, it's about relationships. It's about you.
It's all about me? Who's your family? You know Edna and Dorka and them, you know them, but you resemble them Edward boy and them Edward people them you.
Tobago Glass Supplies, Russo Trey Spring Garden, telephone number 639-6266. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes for breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti served with chokers, buljoil and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Spring. Contact 49 Swift 4979 438.
Welcome back. Kate Trotman, Vice Chairman of the Innovative Democratic Alliance IDA, addressed the media during a press conference today. She reflected on developments since the April 28 general election and noted that much has transpired in the national space.
The recent developments emerging between the discussions that was held recently between Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar and Chief Secretary Farley Augustine on Tobago's autonomy and other Tobago-related affairs.
Trotman described the meeting as more than symbolic, calling it a necessary step toward addressing Tobago's autonomy, dignity, and the island's right to shape its future.
Now, while some may view this meeting between the two leaders as simply a conversation, I submit to you that we must understand this meeting from a totally different position, one of significance, one that has seen the reckoning of our unfinished business as a people, the reckoning with unresolved questions surrounding Tobago's dignity, our autonomy, and the right of our people to shape our destiny.
Attention to Tobago's issues, specifically the continued decay of the Scarborough Secondary School.
We are also heartened by the Prime Minister's acknowledgement of the importance to the people of Tobago, the issues surrounding the Scarborough Secondary School. Once a proud institution, but now one that is literally slipping into the sea. This is not an engineering failure. This is a moral failure. This is what happens when infrastructure is disconnected from insights, when planning ignores people, and when oversight fails. And that is why certain blame can be laid at the feet of the previous administration, both central government and the previous THA administration.
On the topic of autonomy, she emphasized that Tobago's call for autonomy is not a plea, but a matter of justice, citing decades of stalled development, underfunding, and resilience in the face of neglect. The Scarborough Library facility is set to reopen on Wednesday, June 4th, 2025, following months of closure due to fire-related damage. Tobago Library Services confirmed that extensive repairs, cleaning, and restoration work have been completed, allowing the facility to resume full operations. Officials noted that the safety and well-being of both patrons and staff remain a top priority, and the reopening marks the return of a fully restored public space. The weather report is up next.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up and look, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up and look. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Quartz is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Quartz Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. Hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Quartz Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
Now for a look at the weather forecast from the TNT Met office. Tonight, mostly fair and hazy despite the odd brief shower. Temperatures will dip to 26 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow is expected to be mainly sunny, hazy, and at times breezy, despite the low chance of 1 or 2 brisk passing showers. You can look forward to a mostly fair night. Daytime temperatures will reach 31 degrees Celsius with a heat index of 34 degrees Celsius. Sea conditions are expected to be moderate, with waves ranging from 1.5 meters to 2 meters in open waters and below 1 meter in sheltered areas. Sunrise is at 5:38 and sunset at 6:23. And that's how we end this evening's newscast. Here's a recap of the headlines. Minority Leader calls on Health Secretary to resign. The IDA calls for a thorough investigation into the $17 million ambulance scandal. Tobago says Education Division not doing its part to regularize Tobago teachers. And Passat Bissessor wins Caribbean Global Leader 2025. I am Lavian Cupid. Thank you so much for joining us. Wishing you a great night.